Agriculture is ever changing. Day by day, we see new ideas and operations coming about. And so our organization also has to be ever changing. How can we as Farm Bureau serve the large farmer and rancher, the small farmer and rancher, and everyone in between by maintaining our values and providing opportunities? I'm looking forward to our discussion on this topic today.
American Farm Bureau, I believe, is the perfect organization to represent American farmers across the nation. We already have such a diverse membership. I'm really excited to discuss things, how we can retain members and gain new ones to have a productive and ever-growing organization. I really look forward to the dialogue we're going to have here today.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Without successful leadership within Farm Bureau, we are nothing. And with that, we also need the membership support behind that. I think with the unique ideas that all of us as members and leaders of the ag industry come together, we can really help promote different ideas to gain membership as well as retain current memberships and get everybody more involved. I look forward to discussing with my colleagues different ideas such as mentorship programs or additional membership benefits that we may be able to punch forward.
The Homestead Act of 1862 granted the head of a household 160 acres of public land if they lived there for 5 years. This was the typical American farm. But today, you cannot use the word typical when describing our nation's diverse agriculture. I'm looking forward to this discussion as we can brainstorm ideas and ways that we can bring value and opportunity to our diverse members long into the future.
You've heard opening statements. Contestants who may now proceed with discussion, please direct your discussion to your fellow panel members.
I just read that the Farm Bureau started in 1919. That's 106 years. So a lot has changed in agriculture since then. We've lost 140,000 family farms. So we're just kind of at the tipping point right now. It's crucial for the Farm Bureau to think of ways to stay vibrant. What are some reasons you guys are seeing too to make that more effective?
I guess, it is the pool seems to be getting smaller and smaller with membership, but I do think Farm Bureau has done a good job of going out and at events like this with young farmers and ranchers engaging in all different diversified operations. We come here, we learn about different things to keep more people engaged. I guess when proposed this question, I think for me, not only gaining new members but retaining the ones we have is really critical to me. So I guess. Sam, what do you think, I guess, in order of importance, I guess, do you think, Farm Bureau has a really strong membership right now, but I do think we also work on retaining. What do you think, in your order of importance, what do you think, is retaining memberships more important or is gaining new ones?
Equally important, gents. So the backbone of the Farm Bureau drive is the generational family farm. Not the important part necessarily, but that's kind of our backbone. So from there, we need to make sure that we're covering our large farms and ranches, we're covering our small farms and ranches, our backyard gardeners, our farm-to-table operations. History repeats itself. That's a pretty common phrase I hear often, and I think we're living that. Back in the Bonanza era, we had these large plantations. Today, we have these large farms coming in and purchasing up all this land, and that's all the people see. But I don't think that's true. They're missing a very, very important part. What about all our small farms and ranches? The ones that will continue to make the local industry, ag industry, thrive. The ones that we need to encourage and help to maintain their existence in the world. So we think about how can we diversify our organization? How can we retain the members we have while offering opportunity to new members? I think we need to find what is that common goal, but the new opportunities. Like myself, my family is just getting into a farm-to-table operation in the last handful of years. People want to know their farmer. They want to shake the hand of the person raising their food. How can Farm Bureau provide opportunities to those farmers and ranchers? Because I think that's the future of agriculture. Dylan, what do you think?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Going off of your point, to bridge the gap between, larger producers, smaller producers, producers that have been in the business for longer versus, new farmers, new ranchers. I think a great tool to utilize with something like that might be looking at like a mentorship program or something like that. The North Dakota Stockman's Association did, and maybe they still do, the mentorship program that allows young individuals to choose 2 or 3 different career paths that they might want to explore, and brings in mentors within those industries that you can pair up with and ride along with for a summer or a couple days or whatever, and learn bits and pieces of that industry. And I think that might be kind of a driving factor that really opens the doors for some of these, new and young farmers and ranchers to engage with these veteran members of the Farm Bureau, and really start sharing the wealth of knowledge amongst them.
I think that's a good point, Dylan. And I'd like to come back to that, kind of coming back to like the problem of what we're seeing right now with even an aging out population with the Farm Bureau. The average age of the American farmer right now is 58, and retirement is at 62. And we're seeing that kind of get more and higher. So I think we need to meet people where they're at. 1% of people in America are in agriculture. What about the 99%? We need to reach those people. I was a part of that statistic. I did not grow up in agriculture, and I know there's a lot of people in North Dakota that didn't grow up in agriculture, but they want to be involved. So I think kind of rounding out this conversation with the problem is how does Farm Bureau stay vibrant and reach those people where they're at? Chance, what do you think?
Exactly. I think, like you're saying, the age is getting older and older. Maybe we need to, shift some focus. We do have collegiate farm bureaus. Maybe that's an opportunity. We need to, there's one in Dickinson and one in Fargo. And I actually, in my own experience, my dad's been a long time Farm Bureau member, but I didn't even know about collegiate Farm Bureau until I was at college for a whole year. It wasn't until my second year there. So I think there's maybe some more opportunities for promotion to those young people coming out of high school, or even maybe we need to reach even farther down into high school, because we do some elementary programs, but I think that, like I said, coming out of high school, being a longtime Farm Bureau family, I didn't know that much about it, even though my parents have been longtime members. I guess, Sam, what do you think we could, get into the schools? Do you think that is something feasible at that grassroots level that Farm Bureau could jump on to try to get some of these young people engaged early?
So I think here at the North Dakota Farm Bureau anyways, when we get down to our county levels, I think we do a pretty good job of getting into some of those local school-aged opportunities. I know in McLean County, they have what is called the Sydney Car. It's an impaired driving course that the Farm Bureau takes around to the local schools and does with the kids. So something like that, where we could get into schools and, talk more about the importance of agriculture and how you don't have to be a big farmer and you don't have to own 500 cows. Like you can have a backyard garden and sell at a farmer's market. That is still agriculture. So I think that would be a great opportunity for the Farm Bureau to continue doing, especially at your small county levels. It's a little harder at the state level to do that. But I think another thing that I want to bring up that the Farm Bureau is already doing is being that political voice for our farmers and ranchers, because that's a huge setback for us in some areas. Some of these political holdbacks is what's holding back some of our small farmers and ranchers from being able to be in production ag, So we got to continue advocating for them at a state level, at a federal level. Dylan, can you add in anything like that as far as the political side of Farm Bureau and how we can benefit our members in future?
Yeah, I think a lot of that just stems off of getting the insight or getting the opinions of some of the younger members, rather than even myself. I'm guilty of it. I show up and I follow the train. It's what they've always done, so I follow suit and I hop on board. Whereas I think if we go and start asking these questions to the younger generation, like Chance, you mentioned high school, maybe not quite elementary, but high school, collegiate level individuals, get their opinion and bring that back, with them having some insight to the legalities and the policies and things like that. I think them having a voice being heard would really draw some extra membership from those younger members.
Absolutely, John. I agree with that. I think, what do you think, like Sam had talked about, we do some of these programs, but bridging that gap from be involved in just joining Farm Bureau and actually getting the understanding of the policy work they do. I think at that early age, policy work isn't the most thrilling thing to talk about, so for younger people getting into the organization, I guess I'll pose this to everyone. How do you think we can bridge that gap to these 18, 19, 20-year-old kids that are just learning about Farm Bureau and what this organization actually does at the state level, advocating for people in agriculture, and that those people that, like they might not be in production agriculture, but they could be in ag services or other, like secondary, basically ag programs. What do you guys think?
Facets of ag. Yeah. Oh, sorry, go ahead. I was just going to say that those other facets of ag, we want to touch kind of all of them because, that's going to be our broadening, our covering our broad spectrum. That's going to help with the recruitment. That's going to get the knowledge out there, what we do, who we are. Yes, we're, a political backing organization. We support farmers, but how can we provide opportunities to our already farmers that are in the thick of it now, that are in the thick of trying to make a living, trying to raise families? Like, we're all in that age group. Like, what are the opportunities we can provide? Do we provide, opportunity for learning more of the marketing for a farm to table operation? Do we provide more, at a conference like such? Do we do something like that? Like, what's going to touch more of our members?
Yeah.
While we're still recruiting, we still want to recruit, but we have people here now that need our time too.
Yeah.
So
I just to touch on that. You touched on college age level, but kind of the people coming out of that are starting families, health insurance. Farm Bureau does an amazing job at advocating for health insurance. We just had a friend, part of the Farm Bureau, saved a fifth of what he was paying with Blue Cross. So, but I didn't know about that until I was educated on it. And we're all here because someone told us about the Farm Bureau and the policy, the assets that they provide for us. So I think healthcare is a really big thing that we can talk about as well. How we can educate those young families that maybe aren't in ag, but want to be involved. Maybe they didn't inherit a farm, or they're not operating at all, but they want to be involved with the Farm Bureau because North Dakota is a big ag state, and they want to be involved. And I think health insurance is a great way to advertise for those people, the young families, and bringing them in to join the Farm Bureau. I think that's a good place to start. What do you guys think? I was going to say, what we offer benefit-wise, as far as that goes, along with providing the learning opportunities to build that business for them, whether it is in marketing, whether it is in planning, goal setting, things like that. How to maximize. Maybe they only have 4 acres of land. How can you maximize a living on 4 acres of land? We need to teach our people that. And how can we support them after that?
And Samantha, I think you made a nice point there, talking about coming in from the outside, so to speak. A lot of us come from a farm and ranch background, and we're essentially grandfathered into Farm Bureau, whether that's through family members or in-laws or however. But you come from a different point of view where you weren't associated with agriculture in a prior world. What was enticing to you to join agriculture, to join Farm Bureau? I mean, what drew you in, and how can we portray that on to other new recruitment?
Absolutely. Well, my husband was very involved, and so was my father-in-law. He was the president of our county Farm Bureau too. And so just the knowledge from that they've shared with me, and me wanting to get involved. I just recently watched videos on Zippy Duvall, our president of the American Farm Bureau. He does these farm side chats, and he recently went to a farm in Wisconsin, and they were cranberry farmers. And I just think about that. I'm like, watching that video makes me want to diversify our farm and get more involved with the Farm Bureau, change policy, be on the committee one day. And I hope to do that with my children as well, share that, get involved with 4-H, FFA, and then slowly move up. I think that's really inspiring. And videos like that, I think even to engage the public on the asset and the benefit of being a part of Farm Bureau and what you can save, like financially, the benefits for families that may be struggling with health insurance. So I think that's huge. Maybe even doing more of that, putting out videos and educating families. What do you think, Chance?
Absolutely. I think the health insurance is only just a small tip of the iceberg for the benefits that Farm Bureau members have. And I think some of us even forget them from time to time, all the industries that Farm Bureau works with that Farm Bureau members can get discounts, that like CAT, Case IH, Ford, things like that. That I think that's one thing as our current members to retain membership. Why do I have this Farm Bureau membership card? Well, when I go in, I want to buy something, that I get a discount with this card. I think that's something that for retaining membership and getting that value out of it, I think that's something where not only you can get health insurance, but there's all these other discounts that I sometimes think that might get passed over. I guess, Dylan, do you think, how do you think we could get that out there better? I know it's on the website stuff, but do you think there's a better avenue just so that our members can engage in that better?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you get on the member benefits page and you've got your Ford, you've got John Deere, you've got Case IH, you've got some big name businesses or opportunities like that. But I personally don't know if I've necessarily noticed any of the advertising on Farm Bureau's behalf in any of these locations. So if we had some sort of literature or a flyer or something stating like, hey, Farm Bureau members receive a discount here, that's enough to draw me in, and if you're paying your annual membership, but you get, a $500 credit on the next vehicle that you're planning to buy, hey, I might consider that, so it's something to draw them in, and from there, the opportunities are endless. I mean, we've got so much to offer, so many great leaders, so many great members. I mean, it's a lot of fun. And I think once they get the hook in their mouth, it's line and sinker from there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. No. I just, maybe I'll pose this to Sam and Sam here that but we touched on it, but what I really think maybe we need to diversify. Maybe some of the companies we work with, maybe we need to reach out and get some more feedback from our membership if we need to change or analyze if there's different things to really value that membership, because maybe to get people outside of the current production ag industry, maybe we need to reach outside the normal wheelhouse of the ag companies work with. Maybe that's something, I don't know. What do you guys think about that idea?
You brought up reaching the college level, that college age kids. So even maybe through technology, social media, doing those videos, I think that would be really beneficial, utilizing social media because, all those.
Time has been called. Please prepare your closing statements. I ask the audience to remain silent for 1 minute to aid the contestants in their preparation. Please put down your pens. In voluntary order, please stand and give your 1 minute closing statement.
But farming and ranching can both be very humbling occupations. In my first decade of farming, the one thing that I've learned is I have a lot more to learn. It has been an absolute privilege to learn from my colleagues today about the ways we can be a part of that solution and how Farm Bureau can play a part in that solution. We discussed today educating the public sector on being involved in the Farm Bureau and also retaining members, as Sam mentioned, how important that is as well for the Farm Bureau. There's a lot of uncertainty today with America's agriculture, but I'm hopeful that with bright minds like these, we will be able to leave farming and ranching better than we found it.
As agriculture continues to grow, continues to diversify, the Farm Bureau needs to follow suit so that we can serve our members better and better serve the communities we live in through knowledge and through support. Farm Bureau is big as a lobbyist in the political world. And while that can really drive what the future of agriculture does, I feel like Farm Bureau holds a very large tool in driving it in the positive direction. We have large farms and ranches, we have small farms and ranches, and they're all equally important. So Farm Bureau's goal from here forward needs to be supplying them with the opportunities that have value to grow those businesses, whether they're on 4 acres or 400 acres or 4,000 acres, and that people will follow suit. The discussion today was great, and I think we'll have a bright future in the North Dakota Farm Bureau.
I think North Dakota Farm Bureau and American Farm Bureau need to pat themselves on the back for the job they've been doing. But just because you've been doing a good job doesn't mean it can't be great. I think we've came up with some really great ideas today at the grassroots, starting, maybe with the high school level into the collegiate, getting these young members even on outside of agriculture and pulling them into this organization and showing them what this organization can do at the local, state, and national level. As well as once they become a member, all the benefits and opportunities that are within this organization that they can utilize and take advantage of. to be part of this productive and very effective organization. I was very happy for our dialogue today. I think we just scratched the surface of all the things we can do for our members.
There's nothing more enjoyable than coming together with a bunch of like-minded individuals to discuss our passion for agriculture. Whether you're involved in ag or not, that's totally fine. We're all inclusive and enjoy the fellowship amongst each other. Today, we discussed our diversifying our outreach techniques using advertising, social media, outreach to the different younger populations, and talked about our retention and recruitment efforts. I don't think we need to be afraid to go out and talk with folks and share how much fun we have at a conference like this and how a lot of our lifelong friends are meant to be met here. The story comes from my in-laws that they met a lot of their lifelong friends through Farm Bureau, and they're the ones that really pushed for us to come. And I'm sure glad we did, because I'd like to call a lot of you friends.
Let's show these contestants our appreciation for a job well done.